Morigiri ya Y'Ensoko Tv ne mabiende ngiyanko kwani kuranda onsi ya asora seri tukeriga ryo mweri asomotienyi ugatatu mwaka wechile fuibere 2025 na rimori tukuneria juma ine no kugena kwane tunakwabokire bya kwagendere bya na andonsi ya sora asemambia bono asubonchereri asemirimo yago asokwerigeri asebaritora ase esabari mambige gara boygo no gendera tukubwate merobire onsi korubaga kietu wikera bodi gachinsa inye chia bono mambie chia Afrika ya mochengo kwariganya asomurobire yogo chakera bono wikachinsa isano ne mochia bono mubaso asokumurikira mangana ao ari agendere tukokorekana ime na experience yetu ya Kenya kuba chiseme togenda obochengo borendi togenda yabwatikaine nobo korali na boygo na magendero na boygo badaye tuchikoswa senkwani itemambia yabone ngakura chikusanga amo no yokurukobuna nere Samuel da boygo sense moyende yakabire kukura ne Brad machoka stra chikumurikira amangana yobrai na monaso mwaka oyega bwechile fuibera 2025 na rimo tubwatie ase obwa mostasange ase obwa memambia bana wetera senchera yo mutandao wekerero Facebook roboga sesemeria YouTube Y'Ensoko TV namba ya mawasiliano ase ujumbe nyenge nigere noti isano na ibere isano na isano ne momara gatano omwerio beka isato tochake ase obwa mo gochakera bono wiko mweri riteriane Ishmael Moge. Asomo chakane mambia yabono murigere lyo waziri kwa mache engineer Eric Mugaa ngara tirubwaga chibwanda rugo inteka ensemo ya Mwale County ya Machakoza murubiri bwa magendero ora chikwene kibuna bamenye bensemo eyunkonyora bare amache Mugaa nigo boyigo asangire nabakore imirimo ase amangana au ngaki wose ngaki boyigo airire mirubiro agendera tukarigwa na serikali na mono ase wizara eriyo elia airilibaga anyare gakora tikango turaraligeria esabari obwagachi obwo bagendera tuwekirani gwa kurwase ensemo eya Mwala asemambia bono.
You see, you are focused only on where your wing was held, but that is a problem. You see what you have done this side, the gabions, extend the gabions kidogo. You see when that starts coming in, inaanza to undermine the integrity of this What is the depth here? 2.5. So even during the dry season there was water. Okay. Your workmanship is good. The workmanship is okay.
No, it's good.
Serious?
It's good stuff.
But this water is not salty.
No. It's runoff. It's flood runoff.
Yeah.
At the river, so that is not a...
So it's not a big concern?
No.
How many screens do you have? Kenyatta, how many screens? Screens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have two screens. One is here.
Where is the other?
Outside here.
Okay. This is the second one, eh?
The second one.
This is the coarse, this is the fine.
That's the fine stuff.
But the water is the turbidity is very high.
Very high right now.
Eh?
Do you need rain season?
Rainy season.
Yeah. Let's see. It's really nice, eh? 6,600 liters. Meter cubic is now flowing. 6.6 million liters. 6.6 million. Maji bwana yendi ama mimi nafunga. It's slow, it's just slow. You see, this is what I was telling our friends here. This is what now a regional agency should be doing. Boss, unalipa? Wacha nikaribia kwa mamuri. Naona nyinyi mnaogopa. Acha niende huko mahali kuna wanaume. Boss, analipa? Na analipa mzuri. Pesa ngapi kwa siku kwa fundi? Mtu wa mkono analipa pesa ngapi? Acha nitaongea na fundi. Wewe unaogopa kuongea. 500 na analipa on time. Kila siku gani? Ama every month? Saturday. Lakini analipa. Avuki. Ndio. Ana madeni yenu. Wewe fundi. Kwa vipi? Mbona unakimbia? Unaendelea vizuri? Unaona chuma unapanga fiti?
Iko sawa.
Hii overlap unaona? Overlap iko salama. Wewe ni wa kiwanja. Haya, analipa? Unalipo? Kwa fundi. Fundi wa chuma ama kwa fundi wote? Kwa kila fundi. Kila type wa fundi, Na analipa on time. Analipa on time. On time, So ana madeni yenu. Unajua mimi nalipa hana madeni. 64 meter cubic per hour.
Multiply by roughly 8.
By roughly 8, 512.
liters out of 6.
Unanielewa? Hiyo ni karibu 500, si kweli?
Yes.
It means and I'm told we are not even halfway ya constituency mahali maji naenda. So if you are pumping 500 only, the maximum you can lift in 8 hours, assuming solars are working overdrive. Jua imetoka saa 2 ikatua saa
Non-stop.
Non-stop is 500 meter cubic per day. Sindio? And we are not even halfway of where that pipeline is supposed to take the water. So my question is, and we are producing 6.6 million liters. And then you can only pump 500,000 liters per day. So unaona demand and supply kuna mahali hazipelekani. So how
6.1.
I know there will be consumption along the way.
Say 2 million.
There will be consumption along the way. I was thinking we are at the tail end, but I'm just told we are around katikati. We're in the middle.
Hatujafika katikati.
Hata katikati hatujafika. So are you telling me the 6.1, say coil even 5, the 5 million will be consumed between here na mahali tumetoka, then these guys will consume?
No, 6. Sini 6.6 hapa ni kanusu.
Napiga hesabu kidogo. I'm giving him benefit of the doubt.
You are too kind.
Benefit of the doubt. How do you get like 2-3 million this way? Say we are halfway. So this consume because of demand and supply. I know the dynamics of demand and supply. Urbanization, rural areas. Yes. Say these guys are more urbanized. They are bigger, but I know Mwala is bigger.
Hatujafika the most urban.
Ndio nasema sasa. It means now the waterway we're supposed to be taking that water, you cannot provide more than 500,000 because of this bottleneck. Of the pumping bottleneck where? Here.
There's another tank in Chuluni.
So how do you factor that, engineer?
What about engineer?
Pay engineer time.
Engineer, you would appreciate when we're doing demand for the supply area, there are various regions that we incorporate in the ultimate demand. So that if we have...
Are you telling me, unajua engineer, unajua, I'm not a layman. Nipeleke lugha ya tu inaelewa. Mahali tumetoka is more urbanized than where tunaenda. No. So it means the bulk of the demand is supposed to go this way. But we have already introduced a bottleneck hapa. Si ni kweli? By pumping 0.5 million meter cubic. Si ndio?
Supposed to pump 2,000.
2,000. Yes. So how will this pump 2,000 when your power, not the other power the guys want, wale wanataka power. When your power component can only pump 500,000 meter cubic, how will you get 2 million this way?
Without power.
We are running 2 pumps and 1 standby.
Yes.
So how the system is supposed to run is that when we operate the T-Works, we expect for 2,000 to flow here over 24 hours.
You expect?
The 2,000 to flow because the treatment plant is operating for 24-hour period. So water is coming at a rate of 6,000 divided by 24. But then we wanted to constrict our pumping to the solar hours of 6 hours in a day. So how the system has been designed is that during the day, in the evening you fill this and then you pump water from here to the next tank, which is at the middle place, the intermediate sump. Then this will be empty. So at night we fill in this. So in the morning,
your mouth is not mathing.
In the morning when you start to
look, your mouth is not mathing. Irrespective of the scenarios you want to run with me, your pump can do 64 meter cubic per hour.
That's one pump.
So that there are two pumps. So it means the maximum you can take this way, if both of them are running, is 1 million liters.
Yes.
Sindio? 64 bwana. Tunasema 500 because of the efficiencies.
1 million. Yeah.
He is not factoring the efficiencies and the need of the pump. So I'm just taking 550 meter cubic per hour. Si ni kweli? That can do 500. Si ni kweli? Not 6. If you say 6 hours, it will not do 500. I'm taking 8 hours.
Yeah.
It will do, worst case scenario, it will do 500.
Yes.
Si ni kweli?
That's 1 million.
Times 2, that is 1 million. Si ni kweli? And those are working for 8 hours, not 6 hours. So that 1 million goes this way. No, at night you will feel this. That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
So it means the maximum you can do supply in a day, in the 8 hours supply, which is 1 million.
Yes.
And you are saying we need 2 million. How do you suffer 2 million that is?
Well, what we are doing is, as you are aware, CS, the demand is growing, and we cannot implement electromechanical.
So unafaa uniambie what we have designed here is short term. This is short term, right now. Sawa, my meet with the GDG, the problem with the engineer was that this thing, we are still doing it like we were doing in 1990s, where there were no solars. Now we have lithium batteries. Because of that demand there, we need to ensure that we have storage of power. There is a time, based on the demand, the need is too much, the solar is very good, so we store that. That was not factored. Then there's an engineer who told me it was very expensive. I asked him, what is the cost of a lithium battery? The big man here told me it was too expensive. Like, how? If you get 5 batteries here, or 10 lithium batteries here, it can't even get to a 2 million shillings. This is a 1.7 billion project. So we are not efficient.
But Waziri, even what stops them, this solar they're installing to charge the batteries, they could still do direct pumping by adding an additional pump, because you know very well that it is cheaper to do direct pumping through a drive. So either way, it should be either storage or increased capacity, because there was nowhere where it must have been 2 pumps, would have been 3 because you have capacity.
Then you want 1 standby.
Yeah.
Those are the options.
Yeah.
So look at that and see under phase 2, because I don't want us to live here.
Yeah.
We prioritize storage or increase the pumping.
Exactly.
But if you increase the pumping, you increase the chamber.
Yes, sir.
You know that. That comes at a cost. Take a while. You need to consider that.
Yeah.
If you increase the storage, you increase the chamber. Yeah. But we need to prioritize that. Ukambani is blessed with a lot of ready.
Asense mwende mokonyi bo muraibu ense Professor Kithure Kindiki nigaenikirwa na soburaibu abono nige serikali begetumuki omonena gwikirania magendero na munchiro lya sebintu aokurwa chisemi obochenu bwagachwe chinyumba cherigorire inse nabo igokonyorera basaye emirimo asenkwane ayengaki yogosike gekaro gekomina kianda kia Ambassadors Conference Gala Dinner County ya Nairobi oseni gaerere buna goika omuroberi obwentunda gose goika omwari bwentunda entangani yomura yuburaibu ya Dr. William Samuel Ruto niga basaye chimilioni 5 eranyarekane benyorire emirimo bagokora gose bagokina korwa somubaro wechilifu chimia 5 uyoro mubaro obono iga.
And now we are pushing on building infrastructure. We are pushing on social enablers like reforming education and health, where we've made some good progress. The housing progress is underway. The job creation programs are underway, both under Kazi kwa ground, Kazi majuu, Kazi kwa mtandao programs, and now soon Kazi baharini, which we need to unlock quite a number of jobs in the blue economy sector, international job market. So we are on course. Just to give you just an example too, housing program alone, right now we have 235 affordable housing sites, 500 market sites, and in 45 counties. And we have 630,000 Kenyans who are not working in 2022 who are now employed under that sector. And because it's a long-term program, that number will keep on increasing. We are targeting 1 million by the end of the year. And so under the public infrastructure, we are stretching the job creation agenda to 1 million. And then under the digital jobs infrastructure, I think there we need to up our game a bit. We are at 300,000. That sector can give us 1 million jobs very easily. And we are working to provide the enablers that will give us a multiplier effect. And the Kazi Majuu, we are now slightly over 500,000 jobs. We are putting pressure on all the agencies to push us to 1 million. And by the end of this first term of President William Ruto, we will have put close to 5 million young people who are not working in 2022 on the job market. Our missions must therefore operate with a clear line of sight between what they do abroad and what it means for the Kenyan citizen at home. Kenya enters this moment with significant advantages. We are a stable democracy and in a complex region. We are a leader in renewable energy and climate action. We are a hub for diplomacy, logistics, and finance, and our population is dynamic and entrepreneurial. These are not abstract attributes. They are strategic assets. The task before our diplomatic service is to convert these assets into measurable national gain. On matters of peace and security, Kenya's position remains firm. Our commitment to regional stability is anchored in the understanding that our prosperity is inseparable from that of our neighborhood. We will continue to play our role consistently, responsibly, with a clear appreciation of the evolving nature of the threats we face. At the multilateral level, Kenya must remain purposeful. We will continue to advocate for a more equitable and responsive international system. But we must also engage with the discipline required to influence outcomes. This requires coherence, sustained engagement, and the ability to build and lead coalitions. And by coalitions, I don't mean political coalitions. The government also recognizes the centrality of our citizens abroad. The protection, dignity, and empowerment of Kenyans overseas is not optional. It is a core obligation. At the same time, our diaspora represents a strategic extension of our national capacity, and we must deliberately consolidate our efforts to harness their potential. I am aware that issues of resourcing have been part of your conversations. The government is actively engaged in addressing these matters within the broader fiscal context. At the same time, we must continue to strengthen a culture of accountability, efficiency, and results across our missions. The expectation is clear. Every resource deployed must translate into impact. I emphasize that Kenya must engage the world with confidence and with intent, not as an observer, but as a participant, not reactively, but strategically, not cautiously, but with clarity of purpose. To all our ambassadors, high commissioners, and permanent representatives, you carry the authority of the Republic with you. You carry the expectations of the people of Kenya, and you carry the responsibility to deliver. I urge you to execute your mandate with focus, discipline, and unwavering commitment to Kenya's interests. On behalf of the Republic of Kenya and the government of Kenya, and on behalf of His Excellency the President, the head of state and government, I want to thank you, diplomats, for the work you do for our nation, for projecting our country well out there, and for making sure that our nation remains entrenched as an important anchor state, not just for this region, but also as an important interlocutor in the ever-changing affairs of this world.
Asensemo yende ensemo ya United Alternative Government asetaro yabo ya matukatano asoro ngoro kambani ni goba bolira bakenya kukwata chikura sobonge chingaki bakwanire oburayi bwabono buna oburayi butekereretie maseye mo gwika ase orogongoro kambani tolige nara lya yagendera tukura sensemiyo asetaro ya barayi yabo.
Ninyi mnajua nilikuwa waziri wa elimu. Tulipanga hii maneno vizuri sana. Mheshimiwa Kibaki alituletea free primary education. By the time Uhuru alikuja kuwa president, wale watoto wa Kibaki walikuwa wamefika secondary. Tukaendesha mpango ya elimu, we cleaned up the sector. Sasa watoto wetu hawaendi shule, grade 10 wengine wako nje. Kweli ama uongo? Shida ya capitation, pesa haingii kwa shule. Haya ndiyo maneno tunataka kurekebisha. That is why we want to change this government. Na mtuunge mkono tafadhali. Sisi si vitina, tunataka kufanya kazi ya kuonyesha kwamba nchi yetu iko na uwezo wa kwenda mbele ikiongozwa vyema. Tafadhali tuchukue kadi, tupige kura. Kwa sababu tunaweza kutaka yale tunataka, lakini tusipochukua kadi hatuwezi kufaulu kutoa uongozi huu.
Juzi kumepatikana huko Rift Valley, mji wa Kericho, miili 33. Out of that 25 ni watoto na miili 20 haijulikani ilitoka wapi. Tunaishi kwamba hiyo miili 20 ni wale watoto waliouawa Gen Z 25 June 2024 na wakafichwa. Sasa ndio hii, na sisi tunataka hiyo miili ifanywe inaitwa DNA. Kuna wengine walipatikana kule kwa Mheshimiwa Mawadhe Embakasi South ambao walipatikana wamekuwa dumped kwa kore. Sasa ukweli umeanza kudhihirika kwamba hii serikali imeua watoto na ikawaficha.
Tumegundua ile kitu inafanya aseme ati atapata kula 3 milioni. Mnajua tangu tuanze kuchukua kadi ya kupiga kura tukitumia njia ya elektroniki, kampuni ya KPMG ilifanya audit ya voters register mwezi wa 5 mwaka wa 2022, ikakuta tangu tulipoanza wale watu ambao wamekufa, wengine walikuwa wamejiandikisha kwa njia ya ukora, wale bado wako katika voters register ni 2 milioni. Sasa mmeona pahali Kasongo yuko, kwa sababu anajua hata wale watu ambao wamekufa, jamaa wengi hawana pesa ya kwenda kuchukua death certificate. Sasa mimi nataka kumwambia wewe William Ruto, leo hii nikiwa hapa Tawa, mimi nataka kuambia toa anda yoyote ambao inalipishwa kwa watu kuchukua death certificate, ndio tuondoe dead voters na vijana wakuja walipreza hao. Ndio Ruto utajua haujui. Utajua haujui. Hiyo kura nasema 2 milioni tumejua ni za wale watu ambao wamekufa tangu mwaka wa 2012. Wengine walionekana wamejiandikisha kwa njia ya kiukora. Pia tunajua William Ruto ndio sababu.
Harambe. I've lost my voice. Harambe. Nikiita jina la mtu mnaniambia tu shame on you. William Ruto. William Ruto. Murkomen. Murkomen. Oburu Odinga. Gladys Wanga. Harambe. Hii kitu mienda bwana.
Gen Z, lakini iko shida moja, Dr. Kalonzo Musyoka. Pale Nakuru nimepigiwa simu. Kasongo ameanza ukora na ubaguzi. Vitambulisho ya watu ya mlima, vitambulisho ya Wakamba, vitambulisho ya Wabagusi, vitambulisho ya Waluya, vitambulisho ya Mijikenda, ukiuliza inakaa mwezi 3. Ile ya Wakaleji ni watu yake, wakiuliza wiki 2 chifu nachukua anawapelekea. Wewe Kasongo wacha ubaguzi. Patia kila mtu kitambulisho. Hawa Wakamba ni wa Kenya. Hawa watu ya mlima ni wa Kenya. Hawa Waluya ni wa Kenya, Wakisii ni wa Kenya. Wewe unalete ubaguzi. Unasema ati vitambulisho ipewe jamii yako. Ati hawa wengine wakanyangiwe vitambulisho wasikupeleke nyumbani. Tunataka kuambia the registrar of person, stop discrimination on instructions from Kasongo. To discriminate against communities which Kasongo in his thinking anafikiria ndio hataki yeye. I want to tell you, registrar of persons and Kasongo, it's not just the Kamba and the Luya, the Kisii, Mulima hataki wewe. Mkenya wote amechoka na wewe, including the Kalenjin. Wanasema ni one term. SHA haifanyi kazi kwa Wakale. Bolea hakuna. Everybody is tired.
Kiama kia UDA niko kiama chiro murayo karibu ensi ya Kenya. Uhuru Kenyatta asogoswana na nobo chori oboke. Asenkwana ye kiama gwetera umuriki we kiama ki Hassan Omar engakio kwana na certificate guchiase ababwi bechi tigeti bosi bobo chori oboke nsemo ye bunge ya Emurua Dikir ward ya Pore County ya Samburu na bwege ward ya Endo ase county ya Elgeyo Marakwet ni gobo igoba muchire umurayi we kiama kia DCP Rigathi Gachagua ase siasa chobogesaku.
To our three candidates, the party will be there from tomorrow. Kuanza ile preparations za candidacy mpaka submission of nomination forms. Sisi tunawauliza wale ambao ni wapinzani wetu, acheni hawa wapite tu, otherwise mkija huko tutawaonyesha ile kitu hamjaona. Don't come to lose. Lakini kuna huyu jamaa anaitwa Uhuru Kenyatta. Everywhere he tried to sabotage Isiolo North. Akatumana dada ya candidate against the expectations of the community structures. Maskini msichana akapata kura 600, aliyeshinda akapata kura 9,000. So that's Uhuru Kenyatta for you. He threw them into the dogs. As my brother likes to say, Japhet Nyakundi, where were you for these marginalized areas which you could not have delivered as president that you want to now interfere with as a retired president? What is it that you even attempted remotely in Imuru wa Dikir? In fact, kama wewe ni mwanaume kuja Imuru wa Dikir, that you did nothing for, now you want today ati kuenda kutia fitina huko. Ama for that matter in Endo Ward or for the Samburu people. You know, one of the reasons we have to lay caution, when a a former president lives in denial of a popular will of the Kenyan people and totally goes to try and sabotage the work of the sitting government and makes speeches, Uhuru looks us in the eye and tells us how a government must be run. He did not do any of those things. He privatized Kenya into a Kenyatta corporation. He killed sectors of the economy to build his own, including banks, where he tried to institutionalize the NCBA. He killed KCC and other milk companies to create a dominance and a monopoly. Today, William Ruto has come with a National Infrastructure Fund to be able to build on a BOT basis, even things like infrastructure. Today, the only existing infrastructure that we are paying for in a massive way is a road they own, the expressway. It could have been monies to the people of Kenya, giving themselves a 33-year concession. Things that now could have been a revolving fund. That's why we have come with the ingenuity to ensure that we are able to finance our own development with our own resources and recoup that money through various creative methods and then reinvest it again into infrastructure. He has today fractured an opposition by trying to be a benefactor, trying to think that he can reverse the gains that have been made by this government. His people are publicly saying and stating that the others are predicting death to Shah in 6 months. This guy could not even predict his own nomination, his own impeachment, until it was too late and he went and checked himself into a hospital. What else can you predict? How did you not have that intelligence on anything? Today you are consistently inciting a people of Kenya because you are trying to pitch one community against another, trying to polarize one community against another, instill hatred in one community against another. Leo, ati Rigiji wa Munyoro, ati anawakanya Wajaluo, ati huyu jamaa alikuwa akija kwetu, ati sijui anawakanya Waluya, sijui anakanya jamii gani na gani. Rigiji shida yake ni greed na ukabila. He has issues with Ali Mbogo being chairman of LAPSSET, with Hassan Omar being secretary general, with others being in various positions, because this government is the first inclusive government since independence that we've ever had. Siku hizi tukiitisha mikutano ya appointees of government and state corporations, hall inajaa kutoka Coast Region. Uru's government, we had a board member in KPN moja, Kenya Wine Agency Limited. Sijui tufanyie nini? You know, we even now, mambo ya kuuza pombe ni kweli. We even now these days, even minorities, Endorois, Dorobos, sijui Burgis, those small minorities otherwise forgotten, have the audacity to wait for a gazette notice over a weekend. A forgotten group of people have now been included into the prism of government. I can today say for certain, and ile tulipoambiwa wakati ya ile nyimbo, only that Kenyatta never assured us, but ile kanyaga nchi yako kwa nguvu na raha, hilo ni
hakika. Soko chora Soko TV boroso mugusia semambia ya bora senseme ntangani yabuno tokorekira ase tokorekira muhera semambia ya bora enga kitu gusiyomera kiduka akegona nyuma yo gusiyomera kiduka ningira nena yanda mange na mono kira turachirwa swaso kumurikira burayi mambia ya bora abageni awekire email yesu to abare TV yago ningira ne nyuma yo mutima komo.
Etorobini Y'Ensoko TV, uboroso bw'umugusi. Nuganete betri uratumia segari yao. Ebetri uguchachirimo ugakweba. Ebetri ulegene chinga kichonsi ebenga kieliberera gusenga kiyobokendu. Tawe chandika. Autobat Kenya Limited no tulegigiga asengichao. Nigo tokorosia na koni chibetri uratumia chinga kichonsi. Chibetri uratumie asegari enke ebasi no nyaneli kurukuro.
Kupitia pale kwa gari yako tutahakikisha tumeweka na tumekupimia charging system ya gari na pia tumekupimia battery na kila kitu itakuwa iko sawa.
Alright. Sasa na ikileta shida kabla hii warranty ishe itakuwa namna gani?
Ikikusumbua kabla ya warranty utakuja, alafu tukishaiangalia tutakupatia battery ya kushikilia tukiendelea kuangalia yako.
Talia yoka ne battery yechinguru.
Battery ya Autobat ni battery ambayo ni spill proof. Kumaanisha hiyo battery haimwagi acid ile ambayo iko ndani. Hiyo battery imetengenezwa na calcium. Kama vile tunajua calcium hainanga water loss. Kumaanisha sasa hiyo battery hakuna wakati ambayo inakauka hiyo acid.
Asamange twakirisimi namba 0739697855.
Kwa wale watu wakuja mstatiwa, wachana na battery kama hizi. Tumia Autobat. Battery ni Autobat.
Obutindino bosombasi amate ninki kere tokore
asamari etangoro ko munyagitari bosire koru Betami Rehabilitation Center. Betami Rehabilitation Center togotoka asegusi ensemo ya Gesonzo na Nairobi ga ogoche ensemo ya Ungatarunga Xerian Road. Ime ya Betami nigo togo konya abantu bari amaruna amaryogo yogotindi asariri obongo bwabo. Etogo konya abantu buna umwana funzi orenge kwa ende university ongere gutumia maruna maryogo yogotindi amosariri wana yakireke wango guikarwari kwanya oroyo onde orenge kwa ende kanisa otigire onge akonywa maryogo yogotindi na amaru abasari eryo twabaretaga Betami twabarwali erinde obogima bwabo bwirane gochaso obogima obi
asamange twakirisimya namba 0706840844 Betami Rehabilitation Center lichiburio gukora chingatare ichyobutindu. Unakusudia kuandaa sherehe itakayosalia katika mioyo ya watu kama kumbukumbu daima? J&Java tupo kwa ajili yako. Tunabadili kila tukio la furaha, fahari na ubora usiopimika. Tunatoa huduma mbalimbali kama vile viti vya kila aina, mimbari au meza za kuvutia, hema za kisasa, mapambo ya kuvutia, taa za kila aina, upishi wa vyakula vitamu, vioo vya kisasa, zulia za kila aina, mfumo wa matangazo kwa umma yani PS system, miongoni mwa huduma nyingi kwa bei rafiki. Kwa mengi zaidi, tutembelee katika ofisi zetu zilizopo katika jiji kuu la Nairobi kwenye eneo la maonyesho yani showground, na ukiwa mjini Kisii ni katika eneo la Mwembe kwenye jengo la J&Java lililo karibu na jumba la Isena White House, au unaweza kuwasiliana nasi kupitia nambari 0790820710 au tuandikie barua pepe kupitia anwani sales@jnjava.co.ke. J&Java, kila tukio lina hadithi, tuandike pamoja. Kurumuchomano Nairobi, Kisii, Nyamira, Nechingongo chindi chense ya Kenya. Abariki baitomba bakorentera mangana magia asenchira y'ubwikirano. Imanyi amange na boigo bwatira n'Ensoko TV koigeka chingenjo cy'omugusi. Ensoko TV, uburuso bw'umugusi. Eye n'Ensoko TV, uburuso bw'umugusi.
Morigereria bw'Ensoko TV karibu na ida sense moyende ya kabiri chideka chiatigeri komine ya muchuka chirage chinsa isano chia bono mabye chia Afrika ya mu Ensoko TV buruso bumugusi ngakingu koragania se ngakinga bune yega so yogo chuko kwanira mangana aona kumurekera aya bwatikaine no oburai namagendera so mwako yega wechilifu ibera 25 na rimena mbema wasiliano nigere noti isano na ibere isano na isatu na mara gatano mwero beka isato sense merio mutanda wekerera Facebook rabega sense moya YouTube Ensoko TV tutake gusanga asubwa mona kirubya engarigania abageni abatuki gusanga mona barabwo emambya yabono mbairi bagaba kwandi baragosogeria seri tukeriga rejumaire neri tukorio mwerio asumutienyo yoiga ukatatu obere na mange twarabere tugusanga amange kolende kirire lituko lyo mwere na kirubya ase obwango mono nabo bone nchira yamo yokubeka oburuso kwani yango murigererie mambya yabona tugochaka kurwa sensemo yago sam
minto bwakira nanda seri tukoria yao wakambia maronya saa tuigurire asuwe kigeta senye kigia Ensoko TV agera tulingo ya mangana bwarigereria ali atutunge tune gesakitu kyomugusi jasa Maria Tangoro Samuel Momanyi Korwe County ya Nyamira Kitutu Masaka constituency ward naro ya Digoma ward Mongomeri village.
Okay. Yes. Brian Machoka.
Mbiamono sana. Na inche igonkoro ku Brian Machoka igonkoro alia naliba alichache constituency ward Mbirongo kenyora aligekoro kwanganya keburo waje baturuka tente akengo kolende bono inche ngwakira nyasambi mono kiagara tubukirie abantu mbara bange bagana tiguika lero koranga mbanyali tiguika bono tugwakira nyasaya so mangana iyo ande bono ndete kuania abantu baminto bali kusi batebinga biyatole ande nyasaye numuya kiagara bono kitoko musaba nando tuanjira ainaro amaya
abantu bemba kasi sauti ngairende kwa batigase ngencho
bono
maite bono ya niko bagotene kubwataga taito gitaria
bono maite nje menyete mbakasi lakini bono maiga nemete ngutumaka kwanza bono abantu bemba kasi na inu tiganda abakwania talinga nabebire inu abantu abayani mbanjite ande nitagete kuja kubakonya ankyo tiganda nya kwebanga banga iga mbia mono
Biamano mwanchumo ligelega tuko chaka enkwana yege mambia ya bono ese ugo chaka se obwango mono enkana to ligelega gose ali tuko chikomurekera emambia ya bono na mangana bwatikaine amo no borai na boiga magendro na mona so mwako yega bwechile fuibere 25 na rimo na mona so borai bwa bono kurwa umurai yo bono gatana so etobisio umwako 2022 wekira bono lakini turachaga kuligelega se obwime mono matekero muntu na bwate divination inchiroko nyora bwa understanding yae ya kereke mona lero nigo tugukwarira mangana bwatikene na governance ase obwinge mbari balia koregana bara governance gosobora ibwabo dictatorship na bande mbaroro koregana bara bwoborai no mwana inchi chake kurwa sense mo yago Samuel koregana nae bono asimbona twiranire kirasi imebono boronge na ki omwana naralia utagete kumanyana governance ngete kikaso umuntu bwegesongo
ko bwane amangana ba governance nyaweke ase umuntu oli tuko igubya nelinga to me ongo yobwatani governance na management oborai no borai obukuru kuborai ekero endi ali mero kinga no tokuro kubo oboteneneri kegusi oboteneneri gose oboteneneri obuya korwa so morai tigambe ke oboteneneri obuya korwa so morai ine ronda tabenga that is the good governance tokonyora kurwa sabarai baitu if I understood you well. So I think that's what I can say.
Machoka
uye sana na inche na kokere sana ko bali swali ligi okoboli turasemia abantu bamintunga obora ingentuki na ndese topic ilikuwa bekali kirenga leadership na inche buna go understand the word leadership inche ngo tete ndibwatani na egento ekorokunga what can I say ndaje rukenga development. Okay, leadership is when you are serving your people, is when you are transforming a society. Ikero zego change ase oinero morai oborai nekero go service with an intent yogo chigo change ase. So that is my divination of the word leadership so borai. So to morai onde bwensi otali gukora magenderero otabwati interest of the people at heart. Ani otabwati bwanjirwa abantu n'abaminto tigamba konye tigamba change obogima borai mboyo gabo.
Okay,
yes,
chika kinyinge kwara igure Machoka.
Yes.
Especially ekero tugukwanira ministry ya Kenya singencho ntomenye Tanzania ntomenye Uganda. Kenya tugukwanira kuigwa na ministry ya Kenya niko tubwata bara siasa abange wetani abarai. So ekero ukoligereria sometimes kwa rana na roro mwana siasa ngakiene na ndiko rana na hande uburai mbore imeaye. So aba ngakiene kwanyora no muchando na rwo kongumbura go differentiate ibinte biga bibere lakini ase bintu biria kiujumla biri kwigwa bange ase chinkwana cyabanyona naso gusanga kwiguna umuchando tubwato monene message ya Kenya niko tubwata bana siasa bange wetani abarai
na maene ekiagera in another way you can say we have more politicians than leaders. Itubwata abantu abange bagukwana ebintu batali gukora lakini ntubwata abantu abake usuko baligereria mbabwate okuganikori kugokonya abantu ime yabo nabo go identify a few nonyene kere bagutenda gukwana nabo kugukwana bale bintu gete bigukuna omwana inji nabo kugukwana bale bintu gete biri omwana yigwete ku okorerwa noje nabo bakumutuma oendo ukwana ngiro ne bunge galia abantu abange bagukwana most of them bali gukora kinde lakini mbaro nonye bagukwana amangana make osekoenda siba kurwa they are doing a lot. For example abantu abange bago criticize Ndindi Nyoro is also is a politician but to some extent I see leadership imeyaye kwarire ekiagero skulili omora itali muntu wente kobo muntu wekisegi umuntu bwo koleta vurugu lyoka omora yabente ko umuntu kerale so bali o change ebintu ligere conditions che skuru o change chipara so many things lazima ochakere go korokie good qualities of leadership kurwali so kurwa bintu kyo gokorera omwana inji biri igisometa abantu bato kolere gas so kero konyoro omuntu ochiro obisialia tali gukora kende gionsi gas no gukwana guka akonya kora mnande kero koligereria omuntu gochora manga kyo ekine ngente ke bogokora eretara akora kendi gionse
okay
kwarolire I mean I think is trying to challenge umuntu oyo gukora magenderero ta akora binde because twese tugwe aba Kenya basinyungu bago blame
okay
kwarolire so siasa na magenderero is very different things umwana siasa no morai abantu babire tofauti
okay ntara chase Sami ntara Sami libaga akwane ninkobori asobwango mono asensemeria okorwa asensemeria serikali na boigo yoro monene wense uliboigo naye ogosira nga yoko mubaga umwana siasa gose no murai
tiana gotebye omurai bwense no mwana siasa ali nandi nawo thiritangani nga omuntu naro because of the environment tole ya siasa nabo correspond to politics lakini kero ukoligere deeply so bantu bana banko role some element of leadership in them because now my definition of leadership is when you are transforming a society
okay
ekero go to ira Singapore eli yako tayanga bonze to ende Singapore wono sikoligere president ebintu biri yakokora they ebintu bigo chikokonyo omwana inchi chipale cyo kora korosu nabone mausamite genda kujimata inege tuisha okonyo mwana inchi osikoligere chi skuru echibakwaga cho skonda state house girls yali nkwaga cha bale skuru baga chi skuru kwenda because of igente housing levy osikora chinyomba bakwaga cha ebitali ibintu bire obokora ebile bintu biro na handi mwanya bantu agane timono waroli so na babantu batenga no mwana siasa ekerago kwana because mete lazima respond to a politician lakini karago ikaransi robisi yago you're supposed to act as a leader.
Okay.
What did we send you to do in that office?
Momanyi.
Tinda manya entendo yana machoka ukwana. I have not seen. But in the angu turigeri number 1 inki geguru kuborai ngomorai.
Ewa.
Omorai number 1 no muntu wate a purpose. Ubwate ganga guchia sabantu bali akoraki akora. Ekirenga kenene kiumurai ne kiukokoraki nukora. Ona ekero machoka onte binga ge president ya Rosary Chipara ngwa gajari chiskuru
chinyomba cheli golirense
ichigoli chinyomba cheli golirense iga machoka na manyetenga injira teyo enyombera agachu obulimo bwe serikali na andogora as an individual ogole ngabano kwa gudire enyomba yagajire nini ya serikali agere government yende wocha ngajo iracha tabanga ebintu byonse bine ne bya serikali muruzi kuororo ngaimogochi you know first things first a leader no muntu kurige linki abantu bae batagete now bono iganki abantu abakenya batagete abakenya bono gobuna toisarans they don't need a railway for example kuru na Ivasha to Maraba bono when we are tora asobo konwo bonene namba wani kwa ligeli ngazeti bono mambia paka naone chibeza tobwate togwaka ne deni tobwate injo tobwate chibeza chitikate ta sex chaka is 10.9 billion tobwana the work trillions of money tobwana the work na amadeni
aso mwaka ya
moribusi what we don't have that and then and bona tomanyire ko nanda utwasa bire loan and yokwa gaje railway from Naivasha 500 billion tobwata 10 billion bona iga lakini tu nini elideni ne tu amentire linde yokwa gaje railway from Naivasha mpaka Maraba. So what are the priorities yomuraya when to kutwara uchiya zabantu bae ekero to kurigeli government ye tebuwa the priorities number 1 it doesn't have us at heart abantu bale gali number 1 kero muntu atagetenga ninje egende kebona muna 500 billion chiko andagali ayena nje ntomanya tenga ki this is a big scandal to ocha kutwara in the next few years because of corruption Ishmael. So this government nato tatamangana nato tako ba lenient in a way paka tonya kama guta te konyarekana te koba te gutwara kuyabwaye asenge njo number 1 ene government uzukuri ene government yabanta abange bakule abana bake kwanza bakule bali kutokota ngaki vijana ndio viongozi wa kesho wana bakule mbayo
A number of them, they are not there. This is the government to bwatha wona nere bwatha paka in short no nyensa security to bwana to from this government day. Kwa the other day omuntu akoru isiko Kenyatta hospital omuntu akoru isiko chikobeto omuntu muyinya gitari. Nyagitari. Aya nyagitari ito kukwanera Ishmael te bwatha no na marioko. Machines are not working. There is nothing that works there. This is a government we sit here talking about ngabone government ngarozi chipara yakorireki when chipara chimugocha kweto. The question is chipara chimugocha kweto. Wa kwarozi yes chirenywe. Is that a priority to target now? Imbo what everything aki Ishmael nga una to istranstega housing kosi chinyomba na chichire the first priority when we have abantu bakurara nchara. Priority number one, we prioritize people first. Number one, education must be free. Because free education, I'm not worried. Because you equip your people so that when they can stand for themselves. Give health care. Tigaji nyagitari chibe affordable. Tiga mario gato Kenya gitari. Tuti kuna waka PR every other single day. Ngabona ngaro duara ogwana yesterday. Ngarero liuka igoro. Ngarero liuka we as you are paying is due 200 say what billions to sha korusha gochi. Even the ningi chibe zettinga ichi ngochi akonya. Wena mario gato nyagitari.
Okay.
I wonder.
Oyo minto kwandira mangana mange na motegereruya nitake respondi alina na nyakoba kinkoba affected ya keigo na yewa watangu murai no muntu wende kutwara kirenga ky'abantu ekirenga kiyokora I can say like an agenda kwa rodi umurai obwate ekirenga kiyokora abantu bae na bwente ku understanding ky'abantu bae baganetie.
That's what I said.
I'm not disputing. Na bwente ku understand inki abantu bae bakorteki baganitie. A president yaito ya Kenya through his leadership skills has identified that through his manifesto he promised that nacha kolege tukurungana ki kuagachira abantu chinyomba. Na agachi nyomba chie asowoli mubwe serikali. The fact remains that we are still a third world country because of the informal settlement, especially in Nairobi and the major cities. You need to transform. How the China, by the way, like China and these first world countries, they build these houses for their people. Telling in the United States of America, you will get a house. You will pay. Okay. Eventually, you will pay. They are paying. It's never free. It's the tax. Okay. It is the tax. There is no way you can develop a country without paying tax, without collecting tax. That is number one. Number two, their future in terms of education. Are you considering that mbabugate ebintu baganetie samasomo? Number one, the system of education tubugate bono igasai is the best system of education ever. In fact, Kenya nero konye siegete asa mangana masomo. Nero konye osikuligele chinse chinyinge ego toko beka abanafunzi emyake menge ese secondary ne university ere kinyume na the way it's supposed to be. You are supposed to spend more time in primary school and junior secondary school than in high school, because that's where you develop your skills. Kurmata alia. The system where the president has funded it very okay. Osikuligere yaba alimbali nge serikali ya alikire. Remember, ekere serikali more than na ninguliga wala 7,000 na raba kwa advertise. Lakini osikuligere ya during the presidential working party of education reforms imba address TV ndobia amangana obwalimu. But tenga elinde tosego ikera amangana ya CBC igotoka nitia balimu abangi. The president went ahead karaswe tobisi akalika balimu abangi. Osikuligere saa hii chisukuru chinyinge especially now to senior school bone serikali yatigire kolika abantu bale JSS is focusing on seniors because bona abuno otokana tia balimu abangi. We have enough teachers now in junior school. And you know, it's just 3 years. We having 10 years. or maybe 2 years to go ntubwate nandi ribaga lyokulika bali mubandi
okay
iko bono president ya Kenya no monto oligerate the future because we are having what we call skill based abantu abacha ukora grade 12 iko bacha ukora bachi okole gasi kwarori elio moele na ugakwana nga abantu mbaga netipara na mukumirisana ikiagara kerachaga ne paretera
Read my statement right. I did not saying abantu mbata getipara.
Read
my statement.
Okay, maybe I am misquoting you. Lakini tiana gotigo rechipara. Why I am saying the roads are very necessary in the Republic of Kenya. Every president yoko chobisi nkwa gachare para. Osikole Kibaki karachite na agachite. In fact dual Kibaki said dual something na agachite. Uhuru akacha kagacha. The best thing Uhuru akolete no ichibesa chiasirete tiango tebi no kubeke SGR guchi Mombasa. Osikuligererie ekere abantu bagachire Mombasa nyume SGR etaracha. The number of people bale go kwa between Nairobi and Mombasa because of the pressure umetebona abantu bakuminyoka chere embibasukano iko yalenge menge inchomo nyene of late iko ngonya gusaba nyasaye because hari osikuligere kuru Nairobi bakagusi we have a very big challenge kuru Nairobi baka Homa Bay really western abantu bagukwa especially kero tubwate kusene holiday abantu bakuminyoka uchikusiba nabone Easter une guchiko chaka sai na Christmas. The safest means of transport to me in Kenya right now is the railway. Nande SGR elia neba seko konya sana kupunguza mangana embe basokano uchikusi. Igobone kere president utenga nebwende kwa gatinga tukali he has the interest of the people at heart. Nando uchine nkuligelia mangana a trade ko connect between Chinsebu na Malaba alia na Chinsemo chia Malaba na ga Nairobi ne Chinsemo chindo Kisumu ebi yasana mbiro toko kwa mono bitagete ebintu byaba transported quickly. Bone ya uchikusi my friend ugocha goiko konya kwa Mombasa na SGR I know you've gone. You only spend like nabuko comfortably. Lakini karoko line basi guchi Mombasa okonya urubwate stress kiagera etai nabera base kubate kamo chandobe
anda mwera nile
Sami otara nili boigo enganera iganeli na kurase semo ekwamere serikali kerogo tigarere nkwana yumra igwensu ko igwana asensemo opposition boni gani wo nugo mara ko kwa united opposition boni gani ko kwa united alternative government binte biga byonse ipi ndigo muitirene complaints nyinge sana ngasi unuko nya complain lakini solution teyo no nyaneye uchakira bumanya kuburukani
yankole kegera kimayo jazi ya complaints. You know, Machoka, my brother, you cannot tell us of the future when you don't have her now. You cannot tell me nga tikuchorage next year. Nga kingo survive kange next year. When the president of what the future ye country you must create an environment where now is working. So kama Machoka awonte nga president wata marorabos you number one even to a president is the purpose. I do what purpose one number ya a purpose yereyoko bomurai ne. Why people are complaining Machoka is because of priorities. Mungayo they bring a root on because of what? Is because of the priorities. Onde ta yokanire nganto ta itireli we koganda baka nonye ende nonye se ituke na nobody yokanire. But let us prioritize even the very important first.
Which ones are these?
I have mentioned, I have highlighted in the chronological way. One, tikatutuare amangana education.
But education, when kuachire skuru kwa somire, education is an investment for the future. You cannot benefit from education right now.
Machoka.
This is an investment you put the
you have to protect
cost
Let me finish.
Okay.
Machoka. You understanding education, my understanding, I think we are coming from different perspectives. But we need to come together here. Education is one. But even we have to prioritize. They are finding it so difficult, Ishmael, non school fees. The other one school. Is that the priority you're talking about? You know, this is government today and is the government in place. when we are giving positive critics, it doesn't mean that we want things to work. We want things to work. So Machoka, don't feel the government we are going to defend with passion when things are not working.
Mimi, let me tell you something, my brother. I am not defending the government. I'm only speaking facts.
There's no fact you're talking about.
Because the
fact without priorities.
Investment in education, my friend, investment in education is a futuristic program. Benefits man.
Batoka na tabinga ki. To korose yu mwana ujiko iboro e future now ababaro banyo that future. I come to opposition. You know, Ruto complains a lot. He's in government. Why is he complaining that the opposition doesn't have a focus? His focus is one. And when Ababakora as a president criticize, I don't see a problem. And Ruto should not be written a strategy to what a united opposition, a strategy to what if you see in our political space, mostly even on any candidate a coalition goes that united opposition, it comes 2 months to election. All through. So why is Ruto complaining? Why is he fearing? It's not his business. Number one, it's not his business. They have the way they convince Yaba into the alternative government, it's because they have believed. Number one, number one. Agenda number one, you were not a Machoka. I find it so difficult. Which I go debating as someone of Mokaba Machoka is still sitting this government. I fear the future. This is a man who is creating his political future and is going Gochiase as a man to Tamako, you know my and baby go Tamaguchi Murmunga Yekur. Imanya Eroching and Umur Regino Tamaguchi Regino Madanga Yekur. Okay. Is more dangerous than Yaseguch Muye Kobuakon. One I can remember Machoka, then we go this government and then they build. I wonder his political future. One, let me finish the United Opposition. United Opposition, they have the agenda. Number one, agenda agenda one term. Agenda first agenda is one term. Why? This government doesn't want to go to kill people. One. Agenda number one, they will be safety, there will be security of everyone. That is agenda number one. Agenda number two, we are not going to be prioritizing into vitally number one as our Kenya. So when the president wants to do his things, he according to be a president because he has been given a mandate. He's going. Tadia, you know, Ismail. If I take 1 hour to explain one thing, just know there is a miss. If you have done something, you don't need Machoka bono yam boli kichi school rejara kota. For example, muboli school rejara kota bechi agajina bana bako ende school. Muboli ngakia bana mbale ngama nyere patari ko ende school. You will not tell me.
No, ask me how many schools have been constructed.
And no manya ta bale awaro bale kapatari ko ende school.
I know the school is full.
The school is full. That's the perception of the government. This is the government speaking. But when we are speaking, everyone to call Ranaki into Untoro.
Okay. Asense mo ya Machoka. Kuru asense mo yende. Kolingana na United Alternative government na nene nkwani yewikanire mono kuru ase gekosi gosege kundi kerige korukwa na linda mwananchi bagote bana serikali yabono tibasigetie katiba elitobwate not once not twice kwa igule kurasa semo ya linda mwananchi tigana linda ground eje kora no buru linda mwananchi yue kora gwa baringe tono noka se weekend yiga ekora wona Edwin Sifuna serikali yabono tisigeti katiba eyone katiba eyenya eyo mwaka we 2020
omaite na tegerero yo minta ande tendara kwa na mangana abiri ntarachabu na chile konyoranga ekerolis ko igo kwa na buya kiroro opposition. These people, they know how to speak. Let me tell you something. Noroche ekero montale se serikali. Ekere president ere in government. Your focus is to change your country to a better place than how you found it. But you will find that before the elections, for example, ODM and the UDA, they were campaigning. Chionzi, they wanted to have a good future for their people. But they had manifestos and how they were to implement them in government. But you will find that because it is William Ruto doing it, about the government, they feel that Montoya will support Ruto. But you see, some of us, because we are supporting the government, we speak because we are able to identify facts in the government. Assume we have a parallel government, Raila Odinga and William Ruto. Now they are implementing their manifesto. Because they had decided they were to build houses. But I think in form of settlement. Nairobi. But how can you do that? For example, it was something that all of them had said. The problem is we didn't expect him to do these things. He's going to gain more votes, become more popular. At the end of the day, because most governments become popular after they have left office. Did something.
Okay, asense mo yechinyo mongo kwirani magegake kurua se keruko ligereria kurua sense mo keruko ligereria manifesto ya Raila Odinga gocha ose kurua se ngakinere babwate code ya gono gocha paka bona sense mo ya Azimio no nyiru bwagachiwe chinyomba nyonene ngakia Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta nchire chacha gitukwaga ngakie yo lakini libo linalira igandirina ase ngakia Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta asobra ibwae ngakie yimo Kenyatta ari kunachwa.
Let me tell you something.
Housing levy you ya rengoro. Na sikibono igera aroro.
Let me tell you something.
Na ngakie you ya rengaro na Mukenya taigwete muzigo yuna no rasa.
Ngakia Uhuru Kenyatta na Kenya tuerta madeni ya mange. We don't have to go avoid that fact. We don't want to say Uhuru alikuwa kaja nechibes chiae. It was not his money. Of course it was public money because if it was debt we are supposed to pay it. Sometimes they didn't want to say. Also, housing levy, you go to South Africa. Kenya because you understand this thing. Otokonye kuagacha chinyomba. Walele. Uhuru bakatema kuagacha chinyomba nke, lakini hapa Kenya bakalete shida because Uhuru was not bold enough. Atagete to make other resources probably chia ku affect hapa Kenya directly or indirectly. Lakini Ruto ekera obviously akatebanga we will not borrow this money. We will use the civil servants' money, the public servants' money to build our country because they will pay tax to help those ones who are the government. Also, they are very proud of up countries, of first world countries, but also the tax is actually more, even more than what we have in Kenya sometimes. So we are building our country by our own money. Even in Nyagitali, we are paying SHA. Me, I'm paying SHA. I am supporting somebody who is not having anything. Okay. And I'm not complaining.
Tocha sense mo sabi atara chikoiraniria. Asense media yogutasika lichiko goseka chini.
Amagoso sometimes na bakoba ase serikali. I don't want to defend that part. Ase nale bago sira ase akebu na bono ekere president yako teba publicly amanganare against the constitution. Abutu amomochiri na ande we will want to see a change because you know everybody makes mistakes. Ndocha Komoita Sivi is the first president to do such kind of thing. In fact, the previous regimes have committed worse crimes. You cannot compare them to what is happening here. The regime of Uhuru Kenyatta, by the way, publicly, that was an intentional murder. It was not an accidental. We know Monto Bangiri ne serikali and but also the people call it is true mandamano, and you see in mandamano many things happen. Even crooks have gained access to maandamano, babwate chibunduki, babwate instruments of maybe kuita bantu, babwate binte binge. You cannot blame fully the government on the murders that are happening now, because by the way, it is not justified. The president has presided over a killing spree, but when you look at and compare what has happened before, you are left wondering.
Ngocha sami nabo igochi kuburukania SNSM yo kumweraneli ntubwata chi independent institutions ebyo mbebe serikali usama shirika ya serikali nicho bisi chindi chiganira ko ba independent chikore emirimo yabo independently kosona nugutaye kurwase bunge nene kuswe kurwase executive na obisi ndeyonsi na SNSM eyiga libulira igandiri na ebyo mbebe go usama shirika usicho bisi echiga ine njire independent kuse
they are not manyigoira nabo ngira niliye oyo minto machoka ndino endo ngiro utari gotiga machoka. You said your president, who is my president of course, garnere ne role to serve.
Yes.
Want us to kirenga kia no to ira Singapore.
Correct.
Do you have a blueprint how Singapore?
I have exactly how
a blueprint ya Singapore.
Which one?
Korosi Singapore.
I know. I know how. See, the president of Singapore, when he was starting, he had an agenda for his people. He publicly said in several meetings, if you have watched his documentary, he said that the first thing, if you want to get to Singapore, is to address the major sectors of the economy.
Thank you. Right? Let me proceed.
But I was about to answer you.
No, listen. Is priorities. That's what I was talking about. And he has said it. Priorities.
But education is what he started with. Housing was there. Health is there.
Singapore, you have there, you can go. Singapore, they were given to people. No tax. Nobody of us to go because of or a public servant of what then you buy. What in Nikia doesn't have. So this is forcibly ekenege to kebe umusi gondo ko bekere ruase yani ngona tutibeza oyo ndaenda koroseri nyomba when we are equal both
but we are not complaining
no you are not you when you don't complain
you've never seen a public servant complain because we are very proud we want to have an equal
machoka government I want to say a government Orengo one said,
it eats its own people.
This government eats its own people.
I know.
In the future. So what you are saying today, if you are not on the side of the people, you are in that side of the oppressor. One day, okay, but even Singapore was built just because they assessed their country, what do we want now? This and this and this and this. Singapore, now the other day, Singapore, the room has abantu bagatomu ngagenda ngo Singapore mo the benchmarking genda ngo Singapore mo lenga kiba correct na ntungi to okora so that we can to margin barabo. Raila always used to say Singapore some years back Singapore yarenga the same GDP kere yondo yarenga muna Kenya. But all of a sudden Singapore became Singapore just because of priorities. Bon ekara baika Singapore bakaenda the minister the ministry concerned munura pokea bageni but this is what we want. They were given a blueprint that will stand muna Kenya yale gocha kokoro eri ka Kenya yale gocha ko implement neri implement in Singapore. So where did we go wrong? The question is, where did we go wrong? It's just because we did not have leaders. When the implement was of that idea. The mistake we have ever done, no to our leaders. I think the president we have now, when to be president after Moi, not at this current stage.
Okay.
Yeah, but that went to Kobabona. Because what that's when dictatorship was. April, the year to Chokonora, Kibakibono, Tangobona, got to transition here, called it to somewhere else. So, Machoka, what you are saying is good. You are saying you are not, you are saying facts, you are defending the government just because of facts. But these facts, in one way or the other, you cannot substantiate them. You know, sometimes you can do, Amangana to Kukwan. The other account of yelling and to Kukwan.
So, just as a more independent institution.
Independent institution, you and me know that right now, in most governments, Kenya included, in most governments, they try to make institution to work for them, not institution to work for Kenyans or for the people. A reason, if the government wants to implement it into the institution is concerned, they have to, in one way or the other, manipulate so that a side or was able to be called one or two people, but institution, if we had independent institutions, I can tell you about Kenya is completely far. Okay. It is not something yet I can William Ruto.
All right.
This is something here. This is a problem all over. No, we had that problem. Institutions were not working. But for the police, Nini was not independent. If the police department get decisions without interference, executive, if parliament work registration work without interference, more than state house, because of this reason, in interview. That means that interview is not genuine. It's just because it is something, that is why you want to pass this. So even to be in most these institutions, number one, no judiciary you saw the person. Why judiciary? It's just because it's not independent. Someone is using this institution for his own benefit or our own benefit.
Okay.
That's the problem that we have.
Independence institution.
I agree. Historically, into what a challenge about institutional independence. Nande teracha kabono iga. Ekiringa tokia very koru 1963. We have had a problem. Vintevimbia banya kuitirne. Osikoligeli ekere maraga lengo visi. And this is how I want to analyze it. Tumaitenje bono. Because I told you listen, I am going to speak facts. I like analysis. I like comparing. What happened in 1963? What happened in 2007? What happened in 2022? And what is happening now? Is there a change? Are you able to so that toba inform, because mtoto okwana by the way ebinge bawo chikukwana chigali mikere bako enda town boso won to sokoba mislead galia okonyoranga ba tale na propaganda.
Okay.
Egento ndago dine kemo nandikere kiekene. When you compare between 2007 and now, there is a slight difference, there is a slight change in terms of institutional independence. Osikoligerelia abantu chi obis chi nyinge no parliament ya sai. Oseko tegerera buna ba ko debate in parliament, oseko tegerera most you can see an aspect of, you know, not a stimulated kind of points chigo jororo. Some of them are speaking things that you will see it is from their own reasoning.
Kompe bunge ya bono ikuragwa na
Moses
Wetangula nenga kia Kenneth.
Well, let me tell you something. In terms of speakership, you cannot, because
no nyone nga Kenya na babunge nchira chi debate chi ariko minyoka.
It was better then. It was better then. But you see, there was still executive getting its way to them. And it was too much that time. I'm talking about the financial independence of the courts, the financial independence even of the government offices, even of the policing authority. Also, the president recently, kuana yeromonyene publicly, akatebanga, there is a lot of investment chira saji court. It was a fact he mentioned, and in fact it was most of the things that has been addressed within 3 years by the government. It is not me who is coming up with these things, and they are facts. So the point is this: we have had some injustices before. Tuatore mangana government chiko swasi chi court chi parliament chi nini, but that is not what we are looking for. Again, tutoka ne teach serikali bono yo tete kucha join next time when God grants them a position or an opportunity. Intuta getorole barabuo, how good are they going to handle themselves in terms of the independence of these offices? Ngakibago chiko ko banta bobo sibole bakole chigas chiabo without interference, because they like complaining a lot. They complain, but when they are given opportunities, even if it's a small, or when they are asked an alternative,
okay,
but then what is the alternative? Give us and we will work together.
Okay. Ase ensemo yende ekero to kwana iguru yoburai executive ometena na yomurai bwense karaba waziri mbaro.
Yes.
Niko toko swasa ensemo yaba waziri ase ekero koli data asoko mutienye mo chiwikiangisa to igachia elire ngokwanere bintu ebingesani kuri performance yutra chikoli to korwase omotimoko turachukwana tuli na ase performance ye gakolenga na ranking una yakolekana mu waziri oyo beku namba yemo namba ibire namba isatu paka nonye namba 10 goseke konyarkana boto gukora bonsi ase ngenche kero kwana igoro bakwarali murayi bwestari bakora mireme yiga bweka gose governance yiga nike kolekana ntubatnyo nabari kibechi wizara ngakinde reshuffling ngochere yakolekana igo ntuchikoli ya sobwagale abwo ase Geoffrey Ruku egotebugana na yarwikira bone igo tangaine ne birengo bya 79 asobokoreri nabo igo kugenda paka tuchigwika ase ensemeri yo mwerio namba 10 asabono igo tukura simri chiduka na nyuma yo gusimri chiduka gose umutima komoke ntwerane iri tugendera gukwanira ayanda mange mambia yabo.
Eje Y'Ensoko TV uboroso bw'umugusi
mwanchu muligereri Y'Ensoko TV egeta senambe mo aseliro balia gusi aiga no mugusi yakwa iguribaga na konyara kwabaga gotegereru ase chinse 24 asa matuko atanabera seiki mwanchu muligereri Y'Ensoko TV nechikobwata ase chi county cheto ibere chia gusi ekse county ya Nyamira na county ya Kisii ase njira yobuikeranu na nene mono ntonyare ko batoko genda asibali bale chinsemo chire isiko ya gusi si chinsemo bune chena kuru mwanchu muligereri elitonyare ko batoko wa omugusi ora sensemo ya nakuru libaga elianyare ko bakoigwewa na nene mono ntonyare ko batoko so asi chinsemo childoret no mugusi ore asi chinsemo childoret neranyare ko bakoigwewa mwanchu muligereri ntonyare ko batoko genda asibali barasa masamba bune chinsemo chia molo aliaso mugusi yale enuletie tunyare ko batoko ireke gusioro no mugusi anyare ko bagakoigwewa asenchera enkeranu chinsemo chia Mombasa tunyare ko batoko ikoro nelio mugusi nere anyare ko bagakoigwewa asenchera enkeranu aiga omwanchu muligereria segeta seni Y'Ensoko TV no gotochi ko batogokora ige korugeito tunyare ko batogekora asenchera bwenerete mwanchu muligereri aiga ntokoreri bina nekera obwato muchando wasiririo yo mino mwanchu muligereri tunyare ko batogokorareria okorari kwa nyagosira asenchera ebwenerete Y'Ensoko TV oboroso bw'umugusi.
Omurayi omukuru bwense ya Burkina Faso Thomas Sankara niga tebete nige kuira ekerengo gete kyubo balimo kibirengeralio eliokolenta amontelio ya magenderero asama tukabusio na kyoge kogera omuseneta Gloria Oruoba erure koba ebalimo yaino aso musimamo y'omutindi akonye kurwanerera omugusi inyora omusike Oruoba niga alenge omuseneta omochorwa wiki amagie serikali ya UDA kurende agesokya kubwatisia omurwandereria wekerugo kyoborai bwense kurwa orogonko rwagusi omusike Dr. Fred Matiang'i abange bakamuruke balimo igoika kaurwe kerogyo kiaye kyogo seneta asogotenena no mugusio mwabo no nyabono atabuatie mirimo obeire okuruanirira abasubati wekinia kiuchumi koenana ebitamba byobochenu nabo igo kuruania chisegi chiegenka bono nigo abolirio mugusi komochora buna omu women representative bwe county ya Kisii asobochori bwo mwakugocha elio aire obobalimo bwaye alia sebunge agenderere kurwanirira omugusi emeremeye nigetage tumusubati omulemu oruoba narokwe balimo takumeti kugicha obobalimo bo bokonye kurwanirira omugusi mbuya gutwara omusubati omulemu gose balimo kubwa gutwara omusubati omwoba okoni egesaku oyo nere Gloria oruoba ebalimo yagusi.
Eye n'Ensoko TV oboroso bw'umugusi.
Karibu nainde umurira libwa Ensoko TV asensemo eyega yende ya gatatu nigo twakorera ali ase twari kuligeria mangana nonye no bokoreri gose uburayi bwaba waziri bari bara so biswekera boniga ase data nige kworokina yasoka inse chiwiki satu nige kworokina uyo kurukuna na Geoffrey Ruko ase wizara ya public service wekera boniga na rotangane na 79% ase obokoreri bwae no burayi bwae kuru ase wizara eyo asengencho ya muncho ya letira samwana public service nyore wizara inero ya nero uyo kurukobuna nere uyo rogoroga bonigo tegeta ugatundu uganiti bana kwanda kuburi bunge neraga ata nero lingororo ase wizara eyo asensemo namba ibira kurukuna na Rebecca Miano na role namba ibira na 76% na asensemo ya Rebecca Miano na se wizara ya tourism na sobokora libwaye usasa bokora liga nigo baligerete chi sector inchira abatali babire bagucha nebeseria yabirege korosi gwetera se wizara eyega tokogenda namba isato yo kurukuna na William Kabogo na role namba isato na 74% na asensemo ya William Kabogo na singicha munchira leti inchira chekera na teknolojia eriga enderete kwenekigwa imeyensa singicho kerboniga ebinte binge batebukana na mkunganya tokandra tokunganya kura sensemeri yeke koro ikono nyana sobokora libwa serikali amangana digitalization alafu asensemo ya namba inyako kusoipani tuya nere nigabekira basa mangana ali a defense nere ore igabo alafu asensemo yende opio wandai 68% na rubekira namba isano alafu asensemo yende mutaikagwe na mangana ya agriculture no bari na rubekire namba isano na matoka genda namba isano na ibere Salim vura samangana yechiko soli ndo chimacho kakonya kuondikira umuntu nara konya kuboli na umuntu kitinga yali namba bano ntara ikoro machoka tugo china banane oyo kurukuna na Kipchumba Murkomen bona to mwikerera ni metena kwa ganyire no arabu namba 8 mabodi nara mangene kiyeko geratali namba ye mwigoro kulinda kale namba isano na isato Eric Muganga samangana ya mache naero kale namba kiandagalia namba 10 batoka ndira guchumwino tutira namba 10 oyo kurukuna nere John Badi nigakorete na 60% namba 10 na mabori ya mange na alia na nyone no Mukenya ngakinere umukenya kwa kumira nyone no Mukenya ase street kwa mabori na numanye tumo waziri wa match arikokotebi ukumira nyone no mwana numanye tumo waziri wechisemi na ki akorukwa and of course nigo sentora mororaga igase top 10 ntochiko ya kwandra ase ubwagare kwa kuboli nyone no muntu ndo bwensi ko komonyorega nyone na ase stage ya boda boda CHP kwa bona no meti nyone mu PS osumurikwe wizara nonye ne ya defense nigare kokotebe lakini asubra ibwa bono ninga kieria abakenya banke mbamanyiti nonye na bawaziri babo abuno togochiko chakiraga abutu chake kurase ensemo yago mumanyi igro ya ranking ye na performance yabo
Tinda we focus mono because Kenya had a lot of interferences.
Chikurari.
In terms nonye tuweza kutabanga asa mangana nona ranking poll track ya kota dembara. I don't want to discredit
because you know when they are doing their own research, but what the questionnaire yao.
Yeah, man.
And according to the questionnaire, abantu una bairandereti ko sebuna ba recommended that was individual versus the poll yani the company, the farm so in one way or the other, if you know, if from where you sit you seeing a government that perform, you cannot give credit to the CSS when structurally you see the government, things are not moving, things are not working. But in terms as a I could wonder, out of Avanda, look, might have done well just because of performance. Yeah, civil servants, senior officials. He has done well. He's just stimulating Kuruaze, for example, Matiangi, what he used to do. So that is good leadership. You know, as much as Navotogo discredit Kiregento, like Kini when it Ekarotogo Jasomonto, or individually or colleagues, let us not discredit. In one way or the other, he's doing changes. Those changes never to the public domain, told exactly what is done there. But to me, collectively, if in one way or the other, no nyendiria abawaziri abao colleagues, I think odangonturi kuligeri ruto muna toku muligeri libon. Majoka, you will agree with me.
It's true.
Yeah, if no nyabanda no about colleagues, no, these percentages vaire 70% what if that performance reflects Gochia Mwananchi, I don't think in Ruto the way we are seeing him. We are seeing Ruto this way because we are just criticizing him just because he has incompetent people. So these ratings, Nabo Interawanta substantiate, because I did not read the questionnaire. Now, 100%, depending in the questionnaire, in short. But to me, I think this is something for PR. This is something for PR. Because this could have been felt. You could see how do we call? Okay, let me just use Mulcoman. Mulcoman, when he was Ndiki Adengoro, and when Mulcoman came, you could see a difference. I think it was Laudinga. There was insecurity during Kindiki Mono. There's a way I make this ministry to so many cry. Not really cry. So you could see a difference. You know, you want to run max now on 10%. No 100, but now I'm on 10%. No, because it concerns me.
Yeah,
because this is where my safety is. I could see. But when people in government, civil servant, could tell you the changes in government, mono, wetani. You know, sometimes, no matter about in government, opinion polls, and that was obvious, I'm a public servant, I will fear to give my insights just because Omondo has come to be, to send a camera, he just wants, department. So I have to pray so that think what comes next to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So sometimes, even to be let us to be emotions. The government has done its bit in one way or the other.
Konye abawaziri abuna gwatebire nambare bakoretwe ebintu bire bitatu. Not once, not twice. Of course, ambarekera baragoso bisi murayibu ensenkoro state house yalia. Nyoneka uri shuffling yakorekana. A commitment nere bago chibabeka itutanya korra there before aso burayibu bwara itire mbare kwanda babe commitment yabagenda ari bikaransa kwa saini gaje na kwa saini lieta liago nebintu biri yako nebintu biri gocha gocha. Later chiri shuffling go chiri chakorekana. Later still umurayibu enso igwekanire not once, not twice. Buna ero mwanyene n'abawaziri bari babekera si wizara gete onyo ndaro bachorete vetting yakorekanire n'abawaziri bari babekera si wizara gete bakore mirimo lakini mbamanye timirimo yabo buna ero mwanyene nigamanye temono kubabua barabua banyene aragotebana ni go manyete wizara yago mono kire ntu kigendere tase wizara yago kira unabogokia umanyira nkendere tase wizara yago lakini ayo mwenyene na gwakire simibutuko tumaitina kiago karekana
nera gwe kotata mangana
nera gwe kwe kwanere
the president
yeba
ibono ndete kogotebi ndete kogotebi the president is the executive, is the president, is the CEO of this country. And of course, lazima amanye what happens in this ministry.
Lakini na kia kumanya mono kubwayo chorero no waziri.
Bona abu atorocha bono na nje no nkolekana. Just I will only know ngiye okolekana if kimbeke abantu bane ba condiport what happens. Go tani aye I have abantu bane ba okoraki. Information direct. Either what to way about it. But what I want to say, I think ekarutua iruborai otoko ramuna is like nege kombe tuaiwa. Like it's a trophy. Leadership is not a trophy. It's a service.
Okay.
So between ekaruto kumanyanga ki oborai oboiga igobore utubonete kusavu abantu tariye kombe giroli ketenga bono muna na keruchi kura na abuire bono it's a glory that I should hold so dearly ngabono yani baka kueba the mandate eri abantu bakoeta kwa the reason why ngoteba igo neringa a government for example okonyora to an extent we are the people to want to work this government has done this for us. The government should not speak on behalf of us.
Okay.
We should speak about this government because ni into a service ni into a why should a government render service when we are supposed to talk away when to
toche asore machoka yani muraiwe seni kama nyetamono igori wizara yago kubwayo mwenyene urase wizara hiyo na weka tukuri na performance yaba waziri abaiga
ritangani ndete nganchira ne mangano ya kwanire nga sometimes it's good to give credit where it's due ando ngokirisane kiagara wanchena linge serikali ibintu mbire gukora nande na maene mederi tangania amasiku kana lakini bona maswali keraho nyagocha maite nabo konyoranga kwa
amaiso mogata na maiso kunya
kuigwa kali
okay
lakini nande okoba akumasiku oboa ande kuigwa ote anga PR kwarore lakini kunya komo eresa tole tukucha gukura kujimuina ni metenga na acha korole bintu bina bikwenda na acha manyanga taringa ne serikali to kuigerera ne bintu to gukua bikoreka bire biekene bono tiganda gotebye kwa list a very good number of CS ba colleagues kulingana na percentages. I want to agree to that list in a way that some of those things taliba cross the boardrooms amangana public governance is not something to bantu wakolele cheche because you know Kenyans are complaining, Kenyans are looking at them and Kenyans are comparing. For example, Minister of Defense, the Kenyans are comparing what Matiang'i did and what Murkomen is doing. So the basis of amangana alia questionnaire yale ko supplied, it was mainly about comparison. That was the first question, I believe. How do you compare the former and the current? It must have come because lazima ba Kenya kwante ebyabunga kerenga kineria kubuli monto Matiang'i mbamaite mutai kagwe mbamanyite warore it is true there are questions chiale kuboligwa chiko lead there tukoroga leading questions chiro monto kwanza yes no true false warore and then chiro ko give an explanation but ekero kurigereri omonto buna oyo tourism to kumubekera magoso because even recently inkwaro president go praise the Minister of Tourism agotebanga it is because of tourism levy to agachire bomas it's not alone it's because of chibazanje chikwa cha Talanta ga chikwa cha Ngong Road ku stadium ele agatene chibeza chirura se ministry gete chitane kutumika for so long so to some extent these percentages are a benefit to the people because ntotagere rigelingana kibuna njende then digerelish Aden Duale na Ogamba. I'm challenging Ogamba sana because the Minister of Education top 10 and by the way Ogamba is making a mistake because tatageti ba Kenya bamurigereri through what he's doing ate dogotoma abantu bamwakire chikura online. I saw the poll, it was running online at vote. I saw it on Facebook, on Twitter, it was running. Abantu bago posting aswali mubekere ogamba. See, for that one is not right. Let us look at what you have done and let us give credit as per what you have done.
Kwenye kugo criticize usikonye kuwema mincha na obokore libomu waziri wechi semi ogamba. How comes asesemu yechi semi iko kwera ni magega asegwa chakera?
Yes. Listen, let me tell you something.
Ayo mwenye ngwate bana chisemi.
Now,
amangana mbiyari.
Tiango tebi. The system of CBC I'm talking about, tia leta tuna migosi ogamba. Migosi ogamba is just an implementer. He found it and is trying to perfect it. But there are challenges abantu ba pointed out a problem. For example, in funding is not the one who funds the Ministry of Education, but he's supposed to act, he's supposed to influence, he's supposed to lobby for these funds, teachers and ministry, he's supposed to advise even the university. Pamanyanga kiba konyora is supposed to talk to these people. Pamanyanga naki akiba konyora extra funds kicheko konya institution. But to kwenda obisi okire onya gote yanga njino mo CS with education. We are going to look at education as per what the president said, and you are supposed to be the one implementing. Na minister. And another thing, ngote yanga president knows it all. It is true. It's a very good sign of true leadership. Okeroro Mugambi, and you see it's about experience. William Ruto is not just a president from the moon. He has been in government for so long. He understands every sector properly. Ministry agriculture, and when you are in a ministry, you sit in cabinet, you are able to see what the government is saying. And you see, it's not about propaganda. Watchdogs, propaganda. When you are a president and you have NIS, you consume the first-hand information from the intelligence services. They have to brief you on what is happening in a certain ministry. So how, if you are a very good leader, you can be able to accommodate all these things. How come I know and you don't know? So it's about also the national intelligence service and how you consume the information.
Yekise kune 30 asengencho niko tugate dakika ya muyo katukore boigo no chuo ekerokeri ogokwanira igoro yengane iyo boigo no chukurwerania engana yago yo mwayo ewikie gocha engana nere gwakwanire ga bona igoro yana ice na intelligence rigati gashagwa ngakie mona atebetena umurai bwense ngo charumanya mwenye nyore ngakiria mandamana gocha umurai bwense ata maitena mandamana yanko bangwari keneke ngokorekana kero so ekabana nigo bakonya kuruterana abuno togoche gochakira ewikie gocha senge chikonyo wate murai bwense ngumanyare keregento how comes ngakiyo ata manyete bintu binga bunebiga bigokorekana ekero keribwego ogokorera nse chisekune 30
yonare ko commentara na endongena de korwa sare a government is a government. Bakenya mbamanye tinga government nero ya Ruto sinama. When a government is in place, iye okolera abana inchi egas. So ekaro to kuchaka ko individualizing inganyare. That means we are not talking about a government. When a government here system is working, and that is the system, in that system. Why majoka we contradict Jagre will blame the Minister of Education because of 1, 2, 3 things. That means the harmony when a government works, you to one government, maybe the second government, the third government, ego. So that's why we are seeing this about the government in place. This as a trophy. Yani it has won. So amangana na yo mwana. Amangana donato ya kwana. Na tunyalingo ito ya tate chinse mo Jones ko left right center lingane elimo neliga omo Kenya nabuate one tool ababago disregard egoro the constitution, and that constitution neto the mandate into muna ba Kenya tokobeko stokurusi. So amangana to kuana if doteba ntole card but no to buati card no William Ruto abairumo omuyana karoro, then let's go for that right person.
Okay,
go there wate kura chinga kichigoika tigango torete Kenya itu to wait eza bwena takoba just because tubwate kura na tubwate mandate yoko jusa another lady.
Asanti ti tageti ko era chinga kichinyinge ndetente wenganje tin bekrete mo scheme ogamba makoso iko na mo challenge ya top 10 ndetete top 10 next time elio aba Kenya baba kusiba minta se mwabita na aba Kenya bemba kasi south ndetemba tegenteke mo serikali ya UDA ne serikali tuachorete tokolere gasi intege tonye chingaki ngo sababa Kenya banye chingaki ekole gasi gitini konyegerera lakini kulingana bunandoche amangana amanga onya okoleka nokoba tukunya kubaita mono abantu bamutega to ba chingaki chingi ya magorama ororo iga bakole gasi yabo buyayigo elinde toche ko babikira amagoso 2027 to ndali to bwate kadi ba otenga mulengo oyo musani oyo otenga bali kadi ina intumo ina igotole kadi wono tigatumberane tigatumberane bosi asante
no murigereria asoko gwati umurobere yo kuru twachage to muchakano wikira bali na ntwikiro mweri ukendera kugwati ayande aya tigere aseri twirimo gusemera ubirende ya tigere aseri tukoyima ningira ne chinsa ikomina mu yasinchira yo bwenge asabono akwanire mu basomere teriane issue mugera wika e weekend ane ntomo